barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. About to go into the gym, and I want to have a serious conversation. 9 Wives, man, go get it. Exceptional film. But we're gonna have a serious conversation tonight in the shop, man, and fuck all the narratives, and I don't give a fuck. But you can't refute history. You can't refute what really, really happened. Okay. Kyrie Irving and Kanye want to support, right? They standing out. They saying what they need to say, more so Kanye than Kyrie. And will black people support them? The math is real simple. 45% of the viewership of the NBA is black, and over 70% of the athletes are black. It's real simple. And when it's our turn to support people, let's start from the top. Farrakhan turned on Khalid Muhammad. It's irrefutable. 16 months later, he's doing a Million Man March in front of Thomas Jefferson and Abraham Lincoln and all those monuments. And you got to get the government's permission to put 1 million black men there. Rosa Parks, the owner of Little Caesars Pizza, took care of her. A black man robbed her, went to jail. Nobody did nothing to him. He got out and robbed another black person at gunpoint. Yeah, man. He go read the articles. Everybody Google what that man did to Rosa Parks. He said, I knew it was her, but I had to rob her. Malcolm X's 6 daughters. Did we take care of them? And so, I wanted to create a national fund for Malcolm X's daughters. But the communication ceased. That's the one thing I wanted to put in play, because now we have Cash App and Venmo, and we could have sent the money directly. It could have been no middleman, and we should have did that. And people going to say, well, Farrakhan did. No, Farrakhan did that to protect himself that one night in Apollo. The final call is Muhammad Speaks, which derived from Malcolm X's basement. Nat Turner. What a black person said? He's hiding behind the barn. That's him. Black man killed Malcolm X. 5 black men from Mos 25. Do you want us to keep going? Black men kills Fred Hampton. The police did it, but that motherfucker infiltrated them. William O'Neill. Without William O'Neill's work, the white people don't get action on him. So will black people stand up? History says no. History says we will march, and we will not fight with our dollars. History says it. The last time I can remember was the Montgomery bus boycott. But you know what happened with the Montgomery bus boycott? Money. We didn't build our own. And truth be told, Kyrie Irving wants to go back and play basketball. Colin Kaepernick wanted to go back and play football. No one wanted to build their own. LeBron James wants to own an NBA team. Floyd Mayweather wants to own an NBA team. I said 70% of the NBA is black, and 45% of the viewership is what? Black. So that means if 70% of the players left the NBA and 45% of the viewership went with them, it starts in the black. Do you understand? We don't understand. That's why y'all don't understand my voice. That's why y'all call me Coons. But y'all talking in theory. Y'all talking in theory. I'm talking in real life. I employ black people every day of my life. I've given black actors and actresses their first theatrical role. They're award-winning actresses. They're Emmy nominated because of my ideas, which is intentional. I could have been took the $1 million deal. But no, I could be worth $20 million today. But I choose to take my kids to school. I choose to make money from the iPhone. I choose to buy property and slow and grow. So guess what? We don't have to be a part of the system. Even though I live in a big city, I'm literally off the grid. I don't desire fame and fortune. And that's where we're cowardly at. That's where we're cowardly at. Chefs won't open up their own restaurant. Maids won't open up their own business. Plumbers won't open up their own business. Truckers won't buy their own trucks. What else? Electricians won't open up their own business. That's what we have. We're still waiting on the Nation of Islam's hospital. Where the funds at? Where the money go? We're still waiting on the black bank from the Nation of Islam. Didn't they say they said they're Nation of Islam nation. They want to be a sovereign nation within the nation. We still haven't gotten it. The first lady of the church is still sitting with the same hat on she wore 20 years ago. She'd rather pay tithes than buy her grandchildren a house, put a down payment on the house. She'd rather live in a big city than relocate with her retirement. Don't you know if your grandma worked in a big city in New York, took her retirement, went to Idaho, went to Wyoming, went to Portland, went to Seattle, with that $5,000 a month, she can buy a house for $100,000 and change her whole family's life forever. Don't you know that? Don't you know if every grandkid took out life insurance policy on their grandma? Not your grandma, the grandchildren. How about you do that? Before it get too late, because life insurance policies won't pick her up after she passed 70 and 65 and all this good stuff. We got to think ahead. We want to get out of this, right? I just gave y'all a jewel. But we ain't there yet, man. We not there. What's going to happen is everyone is going to hoot and holler. I said, I'm not moving until the mass move. Colin Kaepernick lied. The man wanted to play football all this time. He ain't speak out for Kyrie Irving. He still got his Nike contract. He still got his Netflix deal. So I tell you guys the truth. Malcolm X is in the grave, y'all. And he's in the grave for a reason. Do you understand that? Martin Luther King is in the grave because the last 3 years of his life, he would have destroyed the Democratic Party. They didn't want that. They didn't want that. And it's not that JFK was a nigga lover. No, he was a humanitarian. And yes, he wore the sins of a man on his shoulders. Yeah, but he was a humanitarian. And you know what happened to the Kennedys after they murdered those two men? They conformed. Yeah, they conformed. But when you get no support, when Robert and John gets shot in broad daylight, what are you supposed to do if the people not coming through with you? We're going to have this real conversation. Because at the end of the day, we're scared. We're scared. My family's secure forever. Forever. I got life insurance policies to pay the taxes. Another drop of gem. Just dropped another gem. I ain't got to worry about if I die, can Lincoln and Kennedy and Dre pay the taxes? It's already done. Lifestyles won't change. Not at all. Not at all. They may want to downsize because, that's what they may want to do. May want to change locations because of memory and love and absence of their father. Sure. I've changed the Hawthorne legacy forever. It's Team Hawthorne or die. It's not Team Hawthorne versus everybody. Because guess what? We not in competition with nobody. Nobody. And they want you to keep on marching and believing in the narrative. The FBA march, the 8-0 march, the Million Man March, the March on Washington failed. It's going to take economics, man, to get out of this. We have absolute power when it comes to this. Absolute power. And you know what I realized? I have absolute power and control over my domain. And you know what I did? I did it. Will you do it? Y'all speaking in theory. I'm speaking in real life. I'm speaking in real life application. That's what wisdom is. Real life application. That means I can look, assess, and make the right and execute. We motherfucking read books, Neely Fuller and the Black Man this, the Black Man that, the Arts and Science of Africa, and the Autobiography of Malcolm X, Booker T. Washington, W.E.B. Du Bois, Frederick Douglass, autobiography. But we forgetting application. How the fuck is modern day slavery still in existence? Because you willfully signed the contract, niggas. We don't want to talk about that part. We don't need that. If 45% of the viewership is black and 70% of the athletes are black, don't you think the white people would come too? The Mexican people, the Asian people, the Indian people, the Chinese people, which is the biggest market in the world. Not America, it's China. Because when you compare and contrast cheap labor versus the amount of money they're spending, true. America got you believing. I'm going to tell you about China and that manufacturing. Ooh, they coming. Ooh, they a global power. And you can't enter them. You can't enter China. Not through a visa, not through a passport, and guess what? Not through Wi-Fi or the internet. They got a force field around their country. Cardi B's not allowed. Her videos are not allowed in China. Gangbang and T-Bone ain't allowed in China. They coming over here. Reading, writing, doctors, teachers, lawyers. Oh, yeah. They not doing it the Al-Qaeda way. Al-Qaeda want to steal planes, so to speak. We just going to take on what they told us. They ain't coming to take planes. China's coming over here to own. China's going to Africa to own. And you sitting here complaining online, writing tweets, and you don't own a house? You have no assets for bartering? You having a conversation debating with me, and I've literally made the real life sacrifice? I have assets to trade and barter. Do you? Because China is coming. They here. They not crashing airplanes into the World Trade Center. They buying the World Trade Center. They buying the airplanes. They're buying the airports. And guess what? They getting all these manufacturing contracts. Because you know what they doing? They putting a Jew in front of them. Do you hear what I just said? They're putting a Jew in front of them. The same, and then you know what the Jews do? They put a black man in front of them. And when we look at the root of all of this, it's an Asian person. China. Don't you love TikTok? I know you love TikTok. Don't you know all these videos that we do in America on TikTok can't go into China? It's a genius, man. It's the American way. When we gonna realize this world on capitalism is set up for anyone to succeed? What we're not accepting is our starting point. Do you understand what I just said? This system is set up for anyone to succeed. What we won't accept is our starting point. You know why? Taco Tuesday, Thirsty Thursdays, Freaky Fridays, Saturday night, football Sundays. Reveal birthday parties, divorce parties, get out of jail parties. Barbershop conversation. Y'all need to watch this video 3 times for you to really understand. We're going to have this conversation tonight in the barbershop. And if I offend you, it's okay. Because I'm not living in theory. I'm living in real life. Real life. Go read that story about Rosa Parks. That man went to jail and no one did nothing to him. He robbed Rosa Parks, hit her upside the head, went to jail. No black man did anything to him. Got out of jail and robbed and beat up another black person. They murdered Malcolm X. Only 1 man got caught, 4 got away, and 1 lived. William Bradley lived like a normal citizen. Jesse Jackson turned on Martin Luther King. Abernathy turned on Martin Luther King for money. He told the secrets for money. For money. Barbershop conversations, man. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the flip side. I'm about to go in the gym. Holla, peace.